Hello and welcome back to my FPL channel. I am FPL D Unit and everything has been thrown upside down by the Premier League announcing double game week 25. Like, what do you mean? On the day, pretty much the night before, less than 24 hours before the deadline for game week 24, which is the first double of the season. Who would have thought this? As you can see, I've made some more changes to the background, the transitions, etc., etc. It's going to continue, so please let me know in the comments if you're liking it or not. You are about to literally see my new template for doing my videos as well. It needs a little bit more adjustment because I just realized that when I do a PowerPoint presentation, it doesn't quite fit my dimensions, but I'll fix that for the next video. I really wanted to get this out with you enough time to look at it, listen to it, and then join me for the deadline day stream with your own thoughts about what you're thinking of doing, because I tell you what, the triple captain for me this week, I'm strongly considering pulling it off Mo Salah and potentially activating the assistant manager chip. Now, I'm so close to 500 subscribers, so if you could please join me in subbing to the channel, get involved in the comments, like the video, share it with your friends, just get me up to 500 and I'll be a very happy man. So without further ado, let's jump into, and make sure you like the video as well, jump into deadline day decisions for game week 24. All right, so the Premier League have come out and announced guaranteed double game week 25. What? That's probably what you're wondering. That's exactly what I thought when I woke up this morning. What does that mean? Should I play a different chip? And what option should I do? Look, I've got my 4 options that I've done. And thankfully, this week I've avoided doing transfers. So much of me was contemplating doing Phil Foden and Bruno Fernandes to Brian and Mbeumo. I'm so glad I did not waste that one free transfer now, because my God, I'm going to need it now, because I think the option I'm most leaning towards is actually taking a -4 this week. Can you believe I even muttered those words? For the 3rd time this season, I'm contemplating taking a -4. So look, what does it mean? Arsenal versus Chelsea, potentially. If Arsenal can overturn a 2-0 first leg loss to Newcastle and go to the St. James's Park next week and beat them, then they're going to actually have a double game week along with Chelsea in 25. The odds of this happening are remote. I think they're 20% or under. I don't see Newcastle losing 3-0 to Arsenal, or even any combination of 4-1, 5-2, whatever it would take for Arsenal to win. I just can't see it. So I don't think this is a realistic probability. However, there is a guaranteed double game week 25, and the fixtures will either be Aston Villa versus Liverpool that doubles, and then obviously they'll blank in game week 29, which you do have to keep in the back of your minds. And then Spurs versus Fulham. Now, Spurs currently hold a 1-0 lead, but they have to go to Anfield. And we just don't know with Tottenham what Tottenham are going to show up. Even if you ask their fans, are they confident that they can hold on to that win? I don't think you'd find a Tottenham supporter that would say that they are. Like, that's just honestly how bad Spurs are. They do look like they're starting to get a couple of people back fit, which might be perfect for this time of the thing, but for me, the most realistic probability is that Liverpool are going to double in game weeks 24 and 25. Now, what does this mean for your teams? If you're already tripled up on Liverpool, do you need to bring in Arne slot? The answer is I'm not sure. And I'm in the situation where I've already got 3 Liverpool players, and the most realistic one for me to move is to move Alisson Becker, who, if they win, is guaranteed to blank. And I've obviously got the problem of having Fabianski on my bench. Now, to solve this, as you will see in a little bit, I could just bring in Areola and I'm guaranteed a West Ham keeper to start. But do I really want a West Ham keeper starting for me every week between now and when I wildcard? I'm not 100% sure. So that's where it comes in relation to that. And realistically, I bought in Trent for these games. I'm not going to sell the man as much as I would love to sell the man before. I just don't think it's a good move. So for me, it's something I'm not contemplating at doing at the moment. In terms of Aston Villa, if they're doubling next week, they've got Ipswich and they've got Wolves this week. Like, realistically, I want Villa players in my team, but the way I saw the fixtures were they had West Ham last week, which was a good fixture. Then they've got Wolves this week and Ipswich, 2 good fixtures, but then I didn't really want them. But now that the fact that they're going to be playing in 25 makes me want them. Like, it's so infuriating that we have had no... If I'd known this was going to happen, I would never have transferred out Timber last week for Trent, and I wouldn't have got rid of Jackson for Wissa. I would have just done 2 very completely different moves. It's just one of them things. I feel like the Premier League is just toying with us, trying to boost engagement, and hopefully I'm here to hopefully piece it all together in the best particular things you can do. So playing the triple captain as you can see here, I've whacked the screen together so quickly that I've actually got a couple of spelling errors in here. So if you're watching that, just pay attention. This is how dedicated I am trying to get this out to you folks. I'm probably not going to be playing it because it looks way less appealing. Because of the fact, if I wanted to play triple captain this week, and we'll get into the second option in a second, it'd make more sense to play triple captain next week if I wasn't going to play assistant manager, because then I can play it in the Wolves fixture and the Aston Villa fixture, provided obviously Liverpool beat Spurs. This is a lot of guesswork and relying on the fact that Tottenham are crap. Like, because Tottenham might do us all a massive disservice and beat Liverpool, and then all of a sudden most of my options become devoid and defunct, and all of a sudden I feel like I shouldn't have done anything. But that's just, it's what it is. What you do need to know is that Newcastle, provided they beat Arsenal, their double game week will not be in 25 because they're out of Europe, so are Crystal Palace, which means they're still highly likely to double in game week 33. And if you haven't used your triple captain, like I haven't yet, and I've just deactivated it, I will sit there and realistically, Isak could be the triple captaincy choice in game week 33. He's got Aston Villa and he's got Crystal Palace, and both of those teams struggle to defend at the best of times. And Isak is a man that, if he's fit and available, he's 100% going to be in that talking. Even you can even look at a Crystal Palace Smoky potentially, but I would be looking at like one Isak. He just looks like a really good triple captaincy shout. If you do play your assistant manager, remember, if you play your assistant manager, you are locked in for 3 weeks. Like 3 weeks. So if you play it this week, you've got 24, 25, 26. You've got to roll with it. Yeah, so there's lots of things to think about here. Again, the optimum time now is definitely to play your free hit in game week 34. There's still going to be a massive blank there, and it's probably more preferable now to play your bench boost in game week 36 when we're going to have the largest double of the season, particularly now that this other double's been brought forward to 25. If Arsenal somehow overturn it, game week 25 is when you would really want a bench boost, because there's going to be a decent run of fixtures there with, like, obviously Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool and Villa all playing. I just can't see Arsenal ever beating Newcastle, so I don't think that's a really relevant conversation. In terms of captaincy decisions and benching headaches, well, there are lots of them. I'm actually still probably highly likely to bench Phil Foden this week against Arsenal. That's the kind of benching decision I've got. Robinson and Kirkers are also sitting on my bench, as we'll have a look at in a second. And does this mean now we have to neglect Bournemouth midfield assets? Like, I was wanting to transfer Ahmad to Kluivert potentially next week, but if I'm playing assistant manager, I'm 100% using my transfers on the managers. Like, there's so many more points to be had there than swapping Ahmad for Kluivert. And I don't think it's worth taking a -4 if you can avoid taking -4s. So let's have a look at option 1 for me. Now, yeah, option 1, this is my team currently as it stands. And as I had it originally, Mo Salah, triple captain, Bournemouth away, Everton away. Looks good. Trent obviously doubles up as the vice captain, Bournemouth away, Everton away. And this option 1 is all about ignoring the assistant manager from 24 to 26 and playing it later in the season. But then I don't know when I'd play my bench boost. Like, that is the hard thing, because realistically, I could play it in the double game week, potentially Palace against Newcastle. I can't remember what the other fixture is for Palace during that particular week. There could be table bonus there, but it's only one lot of table bonus, which is why I'm so more inclined to take it. I'm a bit of a gambling man. I'm up to 10.4k because I've taken a couple of risks this season. I feel like this is a risk I potentially want to do, but I'm not 100% sold on it yet. And I've been thinking about it since I woke up at 6:30 and it's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But so I could roll my one free transfer this week, go with my original plan of captaining Mo Salah, and hope for the best. Hope that Mo Salah absolutely slams it out of the park, scores 3 or 4 goals. Optimum scenario. Realistically, Bournemouth and Everton fixtures away from home are potential banana skins. The pressure of the title race is going to continue to mount, provided Arsenal and Man City and other teams can continue to put pressure on. Yeah. Option 2, ignoring assistant manager 24-26 again. Again, rolling my one free transfer and going in with the team as it is. But instead of playing the triple captain on Mo Salah this week, I will be backing in Spurs to lose at Anfield in the second leg of the Carabao Cup. And then I would play the triple captain on Mo Salah when he has the Wolves at home fixture, which all of a sudden looks a hell of a lot better than Everton away and Bournemouth away. And then Villa away. Now, Villa away have shown that they can't defend as well as, I would say, Bournemouth, and potentially probably even Everton. I would say Villa's defence is probably worse than those two defences. So that already looks a lot more appealing. Like there's a world where potentially this option is not part of my 4 options, where I could triple cap the Mo Salah this week and then play the assistant manager chip in game week 25 to get the other lot of double fixtures. I just don't think that makes a hell of a lot of sense. And as I said, Isak is 100% going to be doubling up at some point. And the form that man has been in, he actually does look like a really good triple captaincy shout, particularly for when he does have that double game week. So look, those are options 1 and options 2. You have to let me know in the comments which ones you like the best, because as I said, I'm unsure which ones I like the best. Option 3. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. So I would have to make 1 free transfer. And as you can see there, this is what the team would look like. Alisson Becker would have to become Areola because I've only got 0.3 million in the bank. Now, 5.4 is what my selling price is for Alisson Becker, which means that I can bring in Areola, which means I've got a guaranteed keeper starting every week. It doesn't matter if Harry Potter wants to turn to Areola or Fabianski from week to week. I've got them both covered. Unless there's some third bozo I haven't thought of, I'm guaranteed a starting goalkeeper, and they'll also play in blank game week 29, which is also a positive. The problem is I'm not sure if I really like West Ham's fixtures. They do get slightly better over the next couple of weeks, but I'm not sure if that's for me. So doing that would free up the 1.5 million in the bank required in order to then activate my assistant manager chip and play it on Arne's slot for double game week 24 and the potential double game week 25, provided they can beat Spurs. As I said, a lot of this is based on, and we're not going to know the answers until after game week 24 is finished. So it is a bit of a gamble that you're backing in Liverpool to see off Spurs and make the Carabao Cup final. There's every chance that Spurs could win as well, which is why going for the slot play doesn't make as much sense as going for Moyes. I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, I think you could probably tell which option I'm leaning towards. It's the one that's not on the screen yet. The pros are, obviously, you get 4 games over 2 weeks. If he wins them all, you're guaranteed at least 24 points, plus whatever goals and clean sheets they keep. So if they keep 4 clean sheets, that's an extra 8 points. If they score 15 goals over 4 games, it's not outside the realms of possibility. Let's say we'll go for a more conservative figure. 3 goals a game, we'll go for 12. So 12 plus 8 is 20, plus the 24. That'd be 44 points over 2 weeks for Arne's slot, which sounds unbelievably good. But that requires him to win all 4 games. And I would argue that 3 of these 4 games are actually quite difficult fixtures in terms of getting the wins. I wasn't sold on the triple captain this week, but it definitely looked like the best time to do it, knowing that we were going to have what was going to be a bigger double game week 33. However, that's now changed. The cons are Bournemouth, Villa, Everton will all be away fixtures, and you've only got Wolves at home. Like the Wolves is the banker fixture, right? I would expect Liverpool to account for Wolves fairly easily. I can't see a problem with that. There's no table bonus on offer for Arne's slot, which means that you are really relying on him getting the wins. If he doesn't get the wins, all of a sudden it looks like an absolute flop. So for example, if he drew against Everton and Bournemouth, he's getting a maximum of 6 points for those 2 games, and then whatever goals were scored or if there was any clean sheets. And then the move potentially in game week 26 would be to Ruud van Nistelrooy, because they are playing, I can't remember who it is. Like it's Leicester versus, I think it's Spurs or Brighton, like some other weird team. I would just be targeting someone that's got the table bonus for that game week 26 and just roll with it, because obviously I backed in Arne's slot for 2 weeks, 4 games. Hopefully it works out. Now, as I said, I would then just leave it, and I'd use my free transfer this week, but it means I could then save a transfer next week or move for like a Villa player, in fact, for like a Bruno Fernandes or something. I'm not 100% sure, in order to target that double game week. I just feel like if I'm going to do that, I might as well go with option 4. Now, option 4, I think 100% is the best option. And let's have a look at it. So, as you can see here, I use my 1 free transfer, which would either be Phil Foden or Bruno Fernandes to Rodgers. Now, in the graphic I'm showing you, I've got rid of Phil Foden. That is because of the fact that freeing up Phil Foden to Rodgers leaves you with 1.3 million in the bank once I make the -4 move of getting rid of Chris Wood for Ollie Watkins. Now, I am concerned that Villa could have the hangover from qualifying for the Champions League knockout stages. However, it is Wolves away, and Wolves do concede goals, and I quite like the fixture. Now that Duran's left Aston Villa, Watkins is guaranteed probably to be playing 90 minutes again now, and I don't have to worry about that for the time being unless I sign Marcus Rashford in the meantime. And that means that I can then have them for the Wolves away fixture, but then I also get them for the Ipswich at home fixture, which looks brilliant on paper, and then the Liverpool game, whatever bonus I get from that. And I do expect Villa to score against Liverpool if that fixture goes ahead and double game week 25. Like the games are going to start adding up for Liverpool, 100%. There could be injuries, etc., etc. Yeah, so look, those are the two moves. I would 100% do the two moves this week because I really want the Wolves fixture, and I feel like Wolves away for Watkins is better than Chris Wood at home to Brighton. No offence to Nottingham Forest and Chris Wood. I just feel like there's more higher potential for Ollie Watkins to go absolutely ham against that Wolves defence, whereas I think Brighton's defence, yes, they can see goals, but Chris Wood's not the quickest. So that's I shouldn't be so unfair to Chris Wood, but that's just generally where I'm looking at it. So in this event, I would activate the assistant manager chip, play it on David Moyes, which would leave me, as I said, with 1.3 off 0.4 in the bank for game week 26. Now, after game week 25, I would then be transferring the assistant manager onto whoever is playing that double game week. So it's either going to be Silva from Fulham, Postecoglou from Tottenham, or it's going to be Emery from Aston Villa, because I want to target the table bonus. Now, however the table looks at the end of this round, Villa will definitely be 5 places below Liverpool. Of that, we can guarantee. So this is where it gets a little bit more, it's a little bit more gambly, but I like it. I mean, I'm still getting 4 fixtures. There's 2 really good chances at table bonuses, and I would say there's 2 banker fixtures as well. I would expect Ipswich to lose at Aston Villa, and I would definitely expect Leicester, more likely than not, to lose, hopefully, at Everton. I mean, that's the one that I'm more concerned about. We'll get into the pros and cons in a second. And then, obviously, in game week 26, I would move Emery to a table bonus manager. Now, again, I've looked at a couple of these, and I think Ruud van Nistelrooy's in the frame. I think someone's playing Brighton, or Brighton's playing someone above them. Brighton's playing Bournemouth maybe, and that could be a play, depending on how high up Bournemouth are. And that's at Brighton's ground. So that could be a play. I've just got to make sure I have enough money. So I can only afford up to a 0.8 manager if I move Bruno Fernandes to Rodgers. If I sell Phil Foden to Rodgers, I can then afford any manager. I can afford 1.5 million manager. So this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. Do I expect Bruno Fernandes to outscore Phil Foden over the next 3 weeks? Or do I expect Phil Foden to outscore Bruno Fernandes over the next 3 weeks? Arguably, Phil Foden's got Arsenal, and then he's got, I can't think off the top of my head. He's got Arsenal, then he's got Newcastle, then he's got Liverpool. A really difficult 3 weeks. Bruno Fernandes, on the other hand, is Crystal Palace, Tottenham, and then a easier fixture at home. I can't remember who they've got in the third one. But yeah, it might be in Ipswich. I'm not sure. So Everton. It's Everton. Everton in game week 26. Yeah. So look, that's a much easier 3 fixtures. I think I'm more likely to keep Bruno and sell Phil Foden in this scenario. The pros are 4 fixtures over game week 24 and 25 with guaranteed, hopefully, 2 bonus table opportunities. The cons are, if Liverpool lose, I have wasted transfers because there's going to be no double up for Aston Villa. And I then probably won't be going to Unai Emery because he's going to have the Ipswich game. And the reason why I wanted to go there in the first place is for the table bonus opportunity against Liverpool, which will throw those plans out of the bat. And obviously I've only got 1 Fulham player at the moment, no Tottenham. So I'm really gambling on that Tottenham-Liverpool game. But that's what it comes down to. Do I really think Liverpool are going to overturn it? If the answer is yes, this is the best option, 100%. It gives you the chance of 2 table bonus, preferably 2 fairly gimme fixtures. All I need is for one of those fixtures to come in, one of those table bonus to come in, and it's already a much better play than bringing in Arne Slot for 4 games. Because if Aston Villa beat Liverpool, for example, I get 16 points straight off that win. and then whatever goals or whatever are scored, that's almost 20 points off the one fixture, plus the Ipswich one. We could be looking at like 33, 34 points just off that one fixture, whereas Arne's slot ceiling's probably around, as I said, the 44-point mark. At best case scenario, if he keeps 4 clean sheets, he gets 4 wins and scores 12 goals. Like, there's a lot of ifs and buts here. I don't expect Liverpool to get 4 wins over the next 4 games. That's my honest opinion. So, and then it comes down to how much do I expect from David Moyes and Everton? Well, the answer is I don't really know, is the honest answer. So, look, that's what it comes down to. And is the table bonus really worth it? I think it is. I think the table bonus is definitely worth it. Even though I'm sitting at 10.4k and this could go horribly wrong, I think it makes a much more better sense. Look, the other option is I could just bring in Rodgers this week and not take a -4 and keep Chris Wood against Brighton. And then, therefore, I could see if Aston Villa double in game week 25 before then bringing in Ollie Watkins. I just feel like if I don't bring him in this week and he goes absolutely ham, I'll be like, I should have just taken the -4 and just gone with it. But again, it all does come down to that Liverpool-Tottenham game. So, like, those are the options, guys. Hopefully it's helped you out. If it has, smash a like, smash a subscribe. I'll see you at 9 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Australian Western time for the Deadline Day stream. Bring all your questions there, all your permutations, anything I might have missed. And thanks for watching. That's been the D Unit.